What's up, YouTube? This is Too Raw for TV. I have some sad news to announce in the world of politics. Former First Lady Rosalynn Carter, who was an influential partner to her husband Jimmy Carter in his unlikely rise to the Georgia governor's mansion and then later on the White House, died today at the age of 96, the Carter Center announced. Carter, who suffered from dementia, entered hospice care on Friday. I believe I did a video talking about that on Friday on my Too Raw Media channel. She passed away at 2:10 p.m. today at her husband's home in Plains, Georgia, the center said. Former President Carter said in a statement, "Rosaylnn was my equal partner in everything I ever accomplished. She gave me wise guidance and encouragement when I needed it. As long as Rosaylnn was in the world, I always knew somebody loved and supported me." The Carters were married for 77 years, the longest of any presidential couple. They broke the prior record of 73 years, which was held by, I believe it was George H.W. Bush and Barbara Bush from 1945 to, I think it was 1945 to 2018. The former president, now 99, entered hospice care earlier this year. As First Lady from 1977 to 1981, Carter used her platform to advocate for mental health and women's health, diverging from the traditional role in the White House. Her son Chip Carter said in a statement, "Besides being a loving mother, an extraordinary First Lady, my mother was a great humanitarian in her own right. Her love of service and compassion was an example for all Americans. She'll be sorely missed not only by our family, but by the many people who have better mental health care and access to resources for caregiving today. She is survived by 3 other children, Jack, Jeff, and Amy, and 11 grandchildren and 14 great-grandchildren. A grandson passed away back in 2015. Funeral service have not yet been announced." So she was 96, he's 99. I don't know whether this is going to happen, but I do note that oftentimes when you have long married couples, oftentimes, they follow each other. In particular, the male. If I remember correctly, Barbara Bush passed away in 2018 in April. George H.W. Bush passed away November 30th of that year. So just, 7 months later? And Richard Nixon, his wife, Pat, passed away in June of 1993. And he died, I think, 10 months later. So oftentimes in these scenarios, especially when it's the male, the spouse does not last much longer. But it's not always the case. Jackie Kennedy, or her husband. Well, Jackie Kennedy was young when her husband passed away. Well, he didn't pass; he was murdered. But she lived another 31 years, just about. After the assassination, he actually got remarried. Trying to think of different historical cases. Lady Bird Johnson, her husband Lyndon died in 1973, but she went on to live another 34 years. And a male exception to that is Herbert Hoover. Herbert Hoover's wife, I think, was Lou Hoover. Yeah, her name was Lou, if I'm not mistaken. She died in 1944, and he lived for another 20 years. So it's not always the case. But in this scenario, you got to figure Jimmy Carter's been married to her for 77 of his 99 years. He's in hospice already. she's been his physical, emotional, and spiritual, you know, partner for so long. You know, you just never know. But anyway, tell me what you guys think. Those of you who follow politics, at least. I know some of you guys don't really care about all this shit, but whatever. I do. I care about politics. I love American history, so whatever.